known as pre-respectable woman, so as not to be annoyed, and Allah is all ever knowing. So, I mean, based on his argument, he said that in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, I mean, the purpose of hijab, okay, is, I mean, the first one is that so that the Muslim woman is be known and be respected, and the second one is that so that they will not be annoyed. So based on the statistics that he has given in his letter, he said that, I mean, for the, I'm not sure, he mentioned about 3 days. Okay, for the past 3 days, I mean, there are about 15,000 cases in which, I mean, Muslim woman has been annoyed and also has been disturbed, okay, whether physically or verbally in London itself. Okay, so I mean, he said that since, I mean, wearing hijab is supposed to protect the Muslim woman, but in such situation, wearing hijab, it has become a reason why Muslim women will be annoyed. I mean, their security is not being protected. So based on that, he said, of course, I mean, he qualified his fatwa during this particular time, and in Britain, with the condition that if a woman does not feel that she is safe, then perhaps, I mean, she can go out without hijab. Okay? Well, I mean, from what I can see is that Sheikh Zaki Badawi is trying to relate, okay, the maqasid, or perhaps, I mean, the purpose of wearing hijab, and also the situation in which the Muslims are in. Okay, I mean, in this respect, as I mentioned, I'm not going to discuss, I'm not going to debate about this. Okay, perhaps it might need, but what I'm telling is that we might have tried to look into the very purpose why, I mean, hijab is being enacted at the first place. Okay, all right. Let us move forward. I think there's a good example from Omar, and also there is an example that I give. It is also referred to partial goals intended by the lawgiver enacting the rulings of Sharia. Some of the wisdom is defined by Shariah, and some is left to be defined by the knowledgeable people. As I mentioned, we can find some of it in the Quran, we can find some of it in the Sunnah, and some is left, I mean, to be defined by the scholars. If you look generally, perhaps, I mean, the main objective of Sharia is securing a benefit for the people and protecting them against corruption and also against evil. This is what we call Jalbul Masalih wa Jalbul Mafasid. Perhaps, I mean, this what the scholar says is the objective of Sharia in all injunctions that was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is to seek benefit for people and also to avoid any corruption, any evil from them. So its general objective and guide the overall enactment of Islamic law includes the protection and preservation of deen. This is the classification that is given by the scholars. I've come to it. It is not very detailed, but just go through it very quickly. Dignity and lineage, intellect, and also wealth. The specific objectives relate to the objective designed to achieve specific benefit in different activities, including financial and banking activities. So we're going to discuss the general objectives of these 5 points, and also a specific objective. I mean, that is the topic of our discussion today about financial and also Islamic banking activities. Now, briefly about the classification of Maqasid al-Sharia, it has been classified into 3 levels. Okay, the first level, what is called as the essential or ad-daruriyat. It is the matters on which the religion and worldly affairs of the people depend on them. Their neglect will lead to total disruption and disorder, and it could lead to evil ending. Meaning that this is something that we have to protect it. Okay, it is something that is very important in life, and it must be protected, and this must be protected, and all measures that aim at safeguarding them must be taken, whether by the individual or by government authorities, and this including the 5 fundamental values, which is the protection of ad-din, protection of religion, protection of life, protection of dignity or lineage, protection of intellect, aql, and also protection of property. Right? If you look into the protection of property, I mean, our topic of discussion is very much related to the 5th fundamental values of Sharia, that is the protection of property. I mean, this is a very wide topic. Okay, when we talk about protection of property, I mean, it ranges. I mean, from acquiring the properties. I mean, to discuss the property, and perhaps I mean we can include also I mean all the instruments that is related to property in this value of Shariah. Now, protection of ad-din, I will go quickly on this. Protection of ad-din at personal level is achieved through the observance of the different kind of ibadah that has been enacted. At a wider scope, it involves defending Islamic faith, particularly if it is attacked by the enemy of Islam. Protection of life, there is an ayah in the Quran. Allah says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ, and do not kill anyone which Allah has forbidden except for a just cause. That means the Shariah has enacted and also the Shariah has enacted harsh punishment for those who kill others in order to protect life. Okay, I mean life is when we come to this issue. Okay, when the Quran says that I mean do not kill anyone except for a just cause. Of course, an unjust cause includes if a person kills another, then he should be killed. Okay, a person who committed zina, I mean a married person who committed zina, okay, the punishment is that stoning to death according to Shariah, and perhaps some other ways, okay, that is allowed legally, of course, in this issue. Another ayah, Allah says, and when you believe al-qisas of the law, equality in punishment is prescribed for you in case of murder. Protection of dignity or lineage, includes the protection of individual rights to privacy and not exposing or accusing others of misbehaviors. Islam has also regulated the relationship between man and woman in order to protect their dignity. The prohibition of adultery in Islam is another manifestation of the protection of dignity. Punishment for those who involve in false accusation and adultery are meant also to protect the dignity. Protection of intellect or mind, al-aql, is a great gift. Al-aql is a great gift, of course, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind. And this is one of the capacities that differentiates a person or a man with an animal. And Islam has given the right to freedom of expression. And that is one of the means, of course, in which to protect the intellect of the person. The right to freedom of expression, but of course, I mean, it should not lead to an evil. Okay, Islam allows us to express ourselves, but there is some limitation in the sense that it should not lead to an evil, should not lead to chaos and others. Encouragement to acquire knowledge. Of course, we know that the very first ayah that was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Iqra. Okay, that is the manifestation that how Islam is very much emphasized on the importance of knowledge. Forbids any activities that is detrimental to mind. That's why there is punishment, of course, I mean, for those who are involved in activities detrimental to mind, consumption of liquor, consumption of drugs, and other such things that will lead to the detrimental of mind. Protection of property. Property is one of the necessities of mankind. Of course, I mean, nobody can deny about this. Okay? I mean, it is a necessity in life. So